What's up, everybody? We're back. This is Misery's Company. Thanks for checking out my channel. Hope you stick around. Got a lot of interesting conversations to have with you guys. Let's get right into this. Let's talk about it. It's called the Dulce Wars. We're talking about Phil Schneider today and what his experience was and how it's relevant to the conversation today. And you'll be really surprised to find out how relevant and things from long time ago tie right into 2023, baby. So let's go. Let's do it. Back in 1979, Phil Schneider, he had a level 3 government clearance. He was a government geologist, engineer, and metallurgist. As a machinist, I know a thing or two about a metallurgist. They're really smart guys. They know what they're doing. Degrees, money, legit. Working for the government, and he's building these underground bases, big underground, what he called his cities, underground, contracted by the government's black budget. And when I say black budget, I want everybody out there to get mad about that, because there shouldn't be a such thing as a black budget. That $500 billion back in 1979 per year is being pumped into, that we're paying for. I guess they're building these train systems too down there, these electric train rail systems that hover about 3 inches off the rails and go extremely fast from base to base. That's the whole point, to go from base to base really fast. And they're building this structure. By now, imagine how big and how expansive this underground, these bases are, and where they connect to. And when I heard this, it really brought me to something that you see a lot of, and it's that underground loud crash or boom that people hear. And you'll see it on the news too. You'll pull up news articles and they'll be talking about loud, unexplainable bangs and bomb sounding. Sounds like they're constructing these things still to this day. They're probably everywhere now, like a spider web underneath us that we're paying for with a black budget. Well, Phil is doing a seminar. You can watch it, but I kind of got the bullet points here for you, and we'll just walk through it. It says he loves his country more than he loves his own life, and he's willing to talk about these things. He claims he's the only one talking about these things at all at that time. Building these bases, and he talks about one specific interaction he had. He's building this base. All right. He explains how he does it, but I'm just going to make a long story short. And anyways, they're building, they're mining, they're boring down into the ground, and they're having trouble. Their equipment keeps breaking. So allegedly, like I said, everything, take it with a grain of salt, do your own research, people. They lower him down, they lower Phil down into this crevice that they've been, to figure out why everything's breaking. And he goes down there, he's got like this spacesuit on, and immediately is confronted by, guess what? A 7-foot gray alien. Wastes no time and pulls out his Walter PPK 9-shot, shoots. And he claims he kills 2 of them. And he emphasizes that yes, they are mortal, and yes, they do die. And that brings me to another point. Check out, if you haven't heard of Tim Alberino. That's Tim, Alberino. And he has a theory, because we were talking about the Peru stuff with the Green Goblin armor, that they surprised these aliens and they didn't have their armor on. And that's how it's come they was able to shoot at them and actually create damage and kill them. Me, I don't really buy that. And the reason I don't buy that is because if you've ever had someone putting a roof on your house, it's really hard to sleep, concentrate, or do anything. I mean, they're just up there loud, banging and pounding. If you're boring a giant hole for an underground base, you're going to hear that coming. You're going to be prepared. You're going to put your hobgoblin armor on. You know what I mean? So I don't buy that. Says he's face to face. He shoots, he kills one, right? Then the alien waved its hand in front of its chest and shot out what he calls a blue beam that like microwaves his body. I guess he lost fingers, his toenails were fried off, and now he's down and he's like in and out of consciousness, you know? He's kind of in and out and in and out. And he claims that a Green Beret, I didn't hear when he said the Green Beret went down with him. Maybe he heard the commotion. I have no idea. But Green Beret's down there, like in an action movie from the 90s, kicks him back into the elevator and sends him up, and claims that Marine saved his life, risked his life for his own. And he's very happy about that. And says that's what happened. You know, that's the incident. From what he claims, 66 at that time Green Berets had died because the government didn't tell them about a possible alien ambush. They were ambushed. Government didn't say nothing. They're building these government black budget bunkers. So he's kind of blaming them for that. That, you know, yeah, this is some out there stuff, guys. Yeah, let me flip my notes real quick. Oh, he goes on to claim that since 1979, we're talking about China's military, Russia's military, our military, the militaries of the entire world are at war with these things, these underground wars with these aliens. He claims that there's 11 species of these aliens that he knows of. The large grays, the small grays, the reptilians, you know, you've heard of them. He said 2 of them are benevolent. One race had to leave in a hurry, said that their planet was under attack. He pulls up a picture with a bunch of, I guess, noteworthy, I don't think that they are, but hey, noteworthy government officials. And they're with this alien named Valiant Thor. And he's been working with the Pentagon for a very long time. Who knows if this individual still is? I assume so. He claims that the alien has 6 fingers, 6 toes, just missing one more 6 there, right? 1 lung and a giant heart. He claims that they're very, very intelligent. He equates it to a 1200 IQ. Speaks 100 languages, including alien languages. He shows his picture and it looks like a human guy, and he's, you know, just kind of fits in with everybody. You can look it all up yourself. Fits in, but he claims that these things have to wear these suits, these special like space suits or suits of some sort, because their bodies are so plagued with these space diseases that if any of it got out, it would create a big problem. And back then, he claims that that really made him mad, because now he's afraid that the governments could use these diseases that these aliens have to make a biological weapon. I ain't gotta say what that means, because I think you really understand. I mean, I don't have to elaborate. I'm not saying that's what it is. That's what was said, almost prophetically. He claims these aliens have an agenda. He knows the alien agenda, and it says by 2029, the agenda is to wipe out 7/8 of the world's population. The New World Order and the alien agenda are one and the same, and I buy that. That's right up what I preach and what what I believe is going on. He goes on to say that 9 of these species feed on humans. Not the meat though, not like you would think feed on humans. He talks about the blood and the energy is what they feed off of. And it's back then, 1979, I believe, he calls it I never get this name right, adrenochrome. And you all know what that is. I'm sure if you're here, you understand what that means. And he links it with back then. And this is crazy because these people are making these claims today, talking about these things being tied to the human trafficking thing and all the children that are missing, never found, murdered, never found at all. And in his assumption, they're being used, these UAPs, to human traffic children and to, for the adrenochrome, to be able to, they get high off of it. I guess it's like cocaine to them. They get really sick if they don't have it. They get really high when they do. So that's either a coincidence or we're all conspiracy theorists, right? We don't know what we're talking about. This is, you know what they do to us. Anyways, so basically it boils down to, he understands that these things are basically trading advanced knowledge and metals for our kids, pretty much, for a drug to feed them. And, that sounds about right. That sounds about what I would believe, the greed and the corruption in our government and the things that they're into, and going down Epstein and everything. And we'll kind of draw a parallel to Epstein here too as well. January of 1996, our friend Phil Schneider found dead. Believe it or not. Guess how he died? I'm gonna let you guess. Put it down in the comments. Ready, set, go. Suicide. I guess he had a catheter. He was found next to his wheelchair in a really weird position that doesn't make sense. He had a catheter wrapped around his neck like 3 or 4 times. And from what I understand, his fingers were gone. So it was pretty much impossible for him to be able to even tie that knot. Blood was found at the crime scene, which didn't make sense because there were no wounds. There were no wound inflicted. It was supposed to be a strangulation death, right? So they don't know what the blood was there for, or whose it was. I guess they went to the wife's house and the FBI and started rooting through all of her things, trying to get all the information that he had, all the files, everything, all his seminars. They took all of that, and which brought up a question later on. And the family wanted to know if he committed suicide. Where's the will? Did he write a will? And the FBI and them couldn't provide a will. They said everything's gone. All the evidence is gone, all the notes, everything. They pretty much, whitewashed the whole thing. No, nothing to see here. Another suicide, right? But yeah, I think it's pretty prophetic. Oh, that's an interesting story. What do you guys think? They call this, and they got away with this for so long. I wanted to bring this up. They're talking about conspiracy theory, that they don't want to disclose. You've heard this. Everybody's heard this. You don't want to disclose aliens and this agenda. Why? Because it'll incite panic among society. Everybody will panic and rise up. And you know what? If you really break that down, it doesn't make any sense. Panic. That's still the excuse that they're using. It's a bunch of baloney. That's so they could put us all in a basket and say we're all crazy. Because if you did something really bad and you got away with saying, oh no, it wasn't this, it's because you're that, and you got away with it, now you got that crime under your belt, and you keep doing it over and over and over again, and just keep using the same excuse because it worked once and now it's worked all this time, and now a lot of people believe it. So I think that's all that is. I don't know, pretty interesting. Let me know if you have any video ideas. I've been starting to do, I got a comment that said I should do more shorts. Thanks for the advice. I got one now. We'll do some more. We'll get our quality up there. I want to do reaction videos, and I gotta get a little bit of money first so I can get all this stuff going. In this recession, you know, everybody's paycheck to paycheck. But thanks for watching. Misery's Company. Like, subscribe, share, leave me some feedback, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.